Hey guys, how you doing? This is Gavin here from Starfresh Personal Training, and this is Sam Sharp, one of my longest clients actually. And you may have seen a little video of him and his Ride Strong video he put on my Facebook page a couple of days ago. So what we're going to do today is just go through Sam's sort of results and how he sort of got started training with me. And then hopefully you guys can maybe relate to it a little bit and give you some motivation to do it yourself. So welcome with us, Sam. Awesome to have you. So just tell us a bit about your backstory, mate. Tell us about when before you started training and what was going on with you then.
So before I joined, I met Gavin, the police. He was one of my supervisors, and so before I joined the police, I was actually an arborist. So for me, I was always just in great shape. We did 10, 12-hour physical days, 5 to 6 days a week, and then I joined the police and got fat. Just a combination of poor meal planning and my partner working for Baker's Delight. And just sort of woke up one day, looked at myself in the mirror and thought, that's not what I had 2 years ago. And I noticed that just, lack of fitness and running around and just not being able to do what I could do. And it just sort of drove me to frustration.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know exactly right. So what was your sort of main sort of goals? What was like the driving force in at that time to get back in shape and training?
I just wanted to get closer to where I was before. Like I've always been a really active person. I've always done, gone sailing, windsurfing, water skiing, and it was starting to negatively affect what I did outside of work. Yeah. And plus I didn't like the way I looked in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
I guess some of those are like quite emotional reasons as well. They're not just like I just want to lose 5 kilos. They're more sort of things that to do with the quality of life, I guess. How you felt. Yeah.
It was definitely quality of life, and it's amazing. I didn't even think about it really until that point. And I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, I'm actually quite unhappy with this.
Yeah, exactly right. How old are you at the moment?
27 now. I think I was about 24.
Yeah, sorry, what were you for years on?
Yeah.
So with so obviously being in the job you were doing at the time, obviously one of the biggest things was going to be time, I guess, wasn't it? Because working shifts and time and sleeping. How do you sort of get over that when you started?
Good planning from you.
Yes.
I think it was more you just giving me plans that allowed me to get it done somewhat quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously when you first start off, it takes a while to sort of get into it, and it takes a while to make your body feel like you're actually doing something.
That's right.
But just like come in before work and you'd give me a half an hour workout plan, which wasn't unreasonable.
No.
We had a gym at work, which was lucky, so you'd be able to sort of squeeze it in every day before work, which was quite nice. Yeah.
So I say with those sorts of things as well, it's when you tiredness compounded with poor eating as a shift work and all that, it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, that was it. Like when it's 4 o'clock in the morning, there's only pretty much one thing open, and that's Macca's, and you're hungry. So, whereas after kind of catching up with you and getting a bit more awareness around it, it's just bringing food into work.
Simple.
It's just is what it is. Things you don't have to reheat, so you can leave in the lunch bag in the back of the car or whatever.
That's right. So with when we started training, I guess I did things a little bit differently than when we first started training.
Oh yeah. It was very, I suppose, comparatively to what I do now, basic. Not very many big sort of compound movements or anything like that. It was all just body weight, flexibility.
That's right.
Get used to doing something again. Get the muscles working. And
so with so the plan we had first off compared to sort of you got now is obviously before you're on the track now. We're going to talk about your results in a minute, which are pretty awesome. So what so you said we talked about it was only a 30 to 40 minute workout at the time.
Yeah.
What was that? What did that look like for you when you sort of like struggling for time? What does it look like? It was quite a short workouts, but what are they sort of involved? Do you remember?
It was same thing. You've always sort of done the full body thing, so it's still full body, but it was just you'd be doing lunges with no weights or squats with dumbbells or time on a treadmill or things like that. Whereas now it's less of that and more just coming to the gym and spending an hour lifting heavy weights.
Exactly right. Yeah. Focusing on your sport now, aren't we?
Yeah, and that 40 minutes was perfect because be in and out. Like that included warm up time and
Exactly right. So I guess with your plan and what I started doing, and it's sort of now I use kind of an app for like that.
Yeah.
So how has that been good? If it has been good?
Well, Trainerize app's awesome because you can just track everything, and it allows. I mean, we obviously catch up like once a month.
Yeah.
But during that time, you can still sort of track your own progress.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And when you're first starting, the progress comes really quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
Like from 1 week to the next, you'll be stronger. So and with the way it graphs it out, you can put in your own weights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and also just saves you having to carry around a notebook and a pen and write it all down. And
exactly.
But the app's awesome. So
it's pretty cool, and it's been obviously I've had it for a couple of years now. But it was challenging to start off with because I didn't quite understand how it all worked. But now, the more you use it and people get results like you, it's obviously you can find how valuable it actually is.
Yeah.
One of the things that we looked at when you started training originally was you said one of the biggest sort of obstacles you had on it was your nutrition. So I'm guessing that's going to be down to part of the shift work and just getting used to planning and stuff. So I guess for people who are starting off and you talk about meal prep and you talk about proteins, carbs and fats and everything else, what's your best advice to someone who's just starting off with it?
Just, I don't know, it sounds, just eat what people would consider to be a healthy, balanced meal. Like you get to the point where you might be weighing stuff, but it is just like your stereotypical portion sizes of food. You eat as many vegetables as you want. Make sure you get a carb source and a protein source.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's only once you start really pushing towards the upper limit that I've found that you actually need to have a specific amount of food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just don't go to Macca's.
Think
Right. I'm going to work today, I'm going to be there for 8 hours. How many meals will I eat? And what access do I have to food?
Yeah.
And if you don't have access to food, take it.
Yeah.
So, and for me, with police, it was what can I make that's healthy that I don't have to reheat?
Yeah, exactly.
Whether that be making like a wrap or whatever, or taking almonds to work. Yeah.
So with obviously I used to give you this sort of advice at the time, and we still talk about nutrition quite a lot. But if someone was to spoon feed you all that information to break down another meal, do you think that would be as beneficial as actually trying to work it out yourself? Or do you think it's better to try and get a rough idea, but then actually go out and work it out yourself?
I think rough idea. The problem with being spoon fed is that you only eat one thing, because you get afraid to kind of move away from what you've been told you can eat.
Yeah.
So, with what you gave me, it was just that basic breakdown of here's a whole bunch of foods that are good.
Yeah.
Here's a general sort of model you need to fit within. Try that.
Yeah.
And you can play around and eat different things and not be afraid to go out for dinner and eat whatever you want for one meal, because it's not going to change anything.
No, exactly right. And that's right. One bad meal a week isn't going to kill you, Jim. No. It's not. It's pretty good for you actually if you've been dieting. Anyway.
Oh, when you're dieting, this week I'm going to have a massive, a kebab or something. It'd be good.
So with regards to nutrition, I'm obviously a big. I like MyFitnessPal. So. And I know for a lot of people it can get a little bit hard, where you're trying to track and quantities and stuff like that. So obviously I got you onto that as well.
Yeah.
So what's the best advice you can give people that to say, using MyFitnessPal?
When you first start off, don't worry about it too much. It's very specific, but you only need to be within a range.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of just a case of if you look at something on the shelf and think it's healthy, it's probably, make sure it's not actually full of sugar or actually full of something else. But MyFitnessPal it's just a tool to help you. Yeah. It's not the be all and end all. Right. They're not even exactly right all the time.
No, exactly.
So unless you can find a food, scan it and get the exact nutritional, it's. I think it's a great tool to assist you in counting calories. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And that's it. End of the day, you've still got to eat enough food that you're not feeling like you're going to die.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess for me, the way I like about MyFitnessPal is it gives you a real good understanding of what you're eating, because sometimes, the amount of people that come in the gym and say, I got a good diet, and as well as me, we all think we got a good diet, because if you didn't think that, we would change it. So of course we all think we got a good diet. And when you actually start looking at it, it's more of an education tool for the people using it, is to see exactly what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can't change it. Is that fair?
Absolutely, yeah. When you first get MyFitnessPal, the best thing you can possibly do is continue to eat the way you are, but track what you're
Exactly
eating.
right, yeah.
And it's quite off-putting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When you start looking at the nutritional breakdown,
Yeah.
and it shows you how far over all of your,
Yeah. So I'm going to go back into that again, because I think the training part of any program is easy. You can come to the gym, you can do your thing, you can go home, it's easy. But the nutrition is by far if you want big changes, is the way to go.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to say, well, I know I've got a few clients right now that kind of struggle with, I didn't quite hit my calories, I didn't quite hit my carbs and fats. What's the sort of advice to that? I mean, my advice to them is just to say, look, just stick with it, keep doing it, and it will get better over time.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be right the first week or the first month, probably, is it? It's going to take a bit of
Yeah, it takes time. It took me a year probably to get to the point where I could get what I consider to be like a pretty good, like balanced sort of diet. It's not quick, and if you can't, my opinion on it is if you can't, or you're worried about being too low, just eat too much.
Yeah.
For like one day.
Yeah.
If like at the end of the day, like if you're out and you forgot something, you have to buy something.
That's right.
So just let it.
Yeah. And with that as well, like the daily calories are not the be all and end all. If you're just focusing on daily calories, I think it's a bit short-sighted, where you probably want to be looking at the average for the week. Would that be fair?
Yeah, that's what I do. I sort of, if I've eaten too much on a Friday and I'm not doing anything on Sunday, perfect time to cut back those extra calories that you ate, and you're just watching TV or vacuuming the house or whatever. And
Exactly right. So that's cool. So, like, obviously, Sam, it's been about, was it 4 years? 3 to 4 years you've been training?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So, obviously, in that time, okay, you've gone from obviously being quite a bit overweight. So I'll talk about it in a minute. I'll give you some stats in a minute. Quite unhappy, can't fit into your clothes and all those sorts of things. To what the point you're at now. So, in regards to, like, I always think of them as transformations. I think when people get fit and stronger and more healthier, I think you get a bit of serendipity going on, where things sort of happen which are good that wouldn't have happened when you were the way you were before. So what sort of happened in your life quite recently, or the last year, I guess you've been training again, isn't it? What's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I compete in New Zealand Superbikes, which is sort of now the main kind of driving force behind our training, and we've had some really good results. I highlighted the issue after I had a pretty big crash in the first round last year, and Gav sort of gave me a quick get fitter workout plan that was hard work, but it sort of set me back on the right direction with my training again, because I think I deviated off it a little bit. And got some really good results. Got a national placing. I'm playing touch, and I'm going mountain biking and every other sport that I could possibly think of. Getting back into my water skiing and all that stuff, and it carries through. That positive mentality. I've just got a new role at work, which is a really good challenge. Life's good.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
It definitely carries over, and the more positive you are with one, and if you feel good about yourself, it's just
everything's better, isn't it?
Absolutely, you just have the confidence to give more things a go.
Yeah, exactly right. I think the feeling of being fit is obviously a feeling that you can't really get from anything else either. And it does resonate with people when you can do more than you could do before. You have that sense of achievement, and I can do that, no worries. And you can just get stuck in without no worry about hurting yourself or being out of breath.
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it is definitely. I hadn't experienced it, then all of a sudden I experienced it quite badly, and it was quite. And it took me probably 6.5, 7 months to get properly out of shape. Yeah, it took me 2 years to get it back.
Yeah, exactly, and it does take time. Exactly right.
So,
and and when we're looking at the way you did it as well, we didn't really worry about. We didn't go in supplements or nothing. It was no crazy diets. It was no crazy workouts. It was pretty just a solid training plan with some really solid nutrition advice. And what got you from A to B was just doing it, wasn't it? It's just working and working.
Yeah, you definitely can't there's nothing you can take that will make up for going to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's the only time you have available to do it.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. So what I'll do is quickly, I'm just going to go out some quick stats just to give you guys a bit of an idea what Sam has actually done, okay, and it's pretty amazing. So obviously I've tracked it through my Trainer, which is the app I use for my training, and there's 319 workouts that Sam's actually done. He's probably done more than that because he was a time in the middle, maybe it was a year and a half, 18 months, 2 didn't train together, was it?
Yeah.
About that, so you could probably double that, so maybe 600 workouts over the time of all those years. So you think about it, it's actually not that many workouts to achieve what he's achieved, okay? It's just all about consistency. And as I talked about in another video, exercise is a compounded effect over time. It's just like you can't brush your teeth for 14 hours on a weekend and then expect them to be clean for 2 weeks. It's not going to work that way. You need to do it every day consistently to get the results that you want, isn't it? So in 3 years, or 4 years when we started training, he started off on 91 kilos, and he's now down to about 81 kilos. I think the last time he weighed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So we're talking about body fat percentages and things like that. So what I do, we've got a little machine here, which is like an impedance device. It isn't all that accurate, but I then double check it with body fat calipers, and the average I take from that is to be his body fat. And he started off at 15% body fat, and he's now around about 7 or 8% body fat, which is pretty impressive by anyone's standards. It's not too far away for competition, bodybuilding, or physique competitor type body fat, and it isn't. And that's with no fat burners, no stupid supplements, your protein shakes, some creatine, isn't it? I think that's what you normally take.
Yeah, I've stopped taking creatine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So with regards to muscle mass, obviously we're all about muscle, body fat, muscle composition. Weight per se doesn't really matter. So he started off at 67 kgs of muscle when we first started, and he's now up to 75 kilos of muscle. So that's about 5, 6, 7, 8 kilos of muscle, is it, in that time, that's pretty impressive. And with what's amazing about that is that those 8 kilos of muscle now allows his metabolism to fire much faster than it was before. So how many calories do you make on a daily basis? And it's massive, isn't it?
To keep my weight, probably about 3,100.
Yeah, so 3,100 calories that he eats on a daily basis. And he's got no body fat on him, and that's the power of actually increasing your muscle mass. You can eat more, which is you're never hungry. He's fitter and stronger than he's ever been. He's leaner than he's ever been, and he's not hungry. And that's awesome, isn't it?
Oh, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. One of the challenges now is to eat enough, isn't it?
The challenge is to eat enough while keeping a good macro break.
Yeah.
Without getting too far into that,
right.
keeping a good balance between your carbs, proteins, and fat. Because it's really hard to make a big meal without lots of rice.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. It gets expensive as well, doesn't it? You start smashing your protein and stuff.
We won't put on video how much I spend on groceries.
Yeah.
Frightening.
Yeah. I guess for most people starting out though, you're not going to be anywhere near 3,000 calories a day. You'd be on a lot less than that, wouldn't you? And you would build up to that over time in your metabolism. But
I think I was eating about about 2,300 when I first started. And that was obviously trying to lose weight. But probably to stay where I was 2,500, so I might have gone up 600 calories a day.
That's right, yeah, and that's just due to muscle mass, isn't it? Metabolism, and that's
the
more muscle on your body, the faster your metabolism is, and you burn more calories at rest, which is brilliant. So with regards to the fat mass, quick stats even, he started off with 12 kgs of fat in his body, and he's just now carrying about 5 kgs, if that probably. And to be fair, I wouldn't even recommend going down less than that anyway, just because we need fat in our bodies. It's important. It's there for a reason. We do need a bit of fat. So there's a couple of other things as well. Obviously you can tell he's put muscle mass on, and he's put like a lot of size on his chest, his arms, and his legs. And I mainly do just because of his sport. Because obviously when you're sitting down on a bike crunched up, you need to have the support in your chest and your legs, and even your core as well. So Sam's done really, really well. And like I said, he's a normal guy. He's nothing. He's nothing about Sam that you haven't got either. It just comes down to consistency and the right plan. Just nailing, isn't it? Just doing it and working out.
When we first started, you made it very attainable. Like you'd do 3 days a week. You'd do 40-minute workouts. And then as you build up, you can build in other things. And so, I'm now training 5 times a week with your workout plan plus everything else I do
That's
outside
right,
of work. And if I tried to do a week of that at the start, I think I probably would be dead.
No, exactly. You couldn't.
So
Yeah.
it's all about your the way you started and where we are now shows an incredible depth of knowledge in terms of how you can span from like high intensity, high profile sort of sporting and all the way down to people that just need help to get back in shape, which is exactly where I started. It's not. Yeah,
exactly. I had an interesting conversation with a mindset coach yesterday, and they were talking about plateaus, and she was saying celebrate your plateaus. Because the take she had is that when you started trying to lose weight and get fit, you're going to hit a plateau. It's going to happen. There's no way about it. There's going to be some weeks you're not going to lose weight, or you're not going to feel like in the gym. And she said they're the times to celebrate, because you've got to a point now where your body is starting to change and is starting to deal with what's going on. So it's quite an interesting take on it. What do you think about that? I think that's a fair comment.
Absolutely, you hit them, and you hit the further we got through, the more plateaus you hit. And with changing up your workout plans and stuff, you obviously get through them. But you just got to remember that it's just a case of your body going, well, hold on, we've made a lot of gains really quickly. It's consolidate.
That's right.
And you just work through it. You go back and you keep smashing the same weights for a couple of weeks, and then the week after that, you'll be like, oh, I can lift 5 kgs more.
Exactly.
Without even thinking about it.
No, exactly right. And it's like success isn't linear, is it? It's like, the success chart is up and down. You hit bumps and lumps and injuries and everything, and
that's exactly it.
So we're going to pretty much finish off with that now. So I was going to say, my sort of mantra is obviously start fresh. Don't make a change today. Tomorrow's not going to be any different, sort of thing. So for people that are sort of just starting out, maybe, or just into their training plan, and what's the best piece of advice that you could give somebody just from where they are to where they want to be? What's the best piece of advice you can give?
Speak to you.
Speak to me, awesome.
Oh no,
also speak to me.
Find somebody such as Gavin, for myself, that can assist you in getting started. You don't have to do it by yourself.
No, that's right.
And the internet will give you a million different ideas about what you should do, and you'll end up chasing your tail around in circles.
That's right.
So just find someone that can help you and give you advice with how to get started, how to help with your nutrition, or how to get your eating back on track. And just work really hard at it. Don't let the times when you feel crap and you don't want to go to the gym stop you, because those are the days that you'll make more gains than the ones where you feel great and you're wanting to get in there and do it. Because the mindset is like 100% of it.
Yeah, exactly right. I guess if you practice coming in on those days you don't feel like those sort of feelings of can't be bothered will sort of dissipate over time as well, and it'll just become like a habit, and you just start.
And that carries on through life. The amount of things I can now be bothered doing comparatively to 4 years ago is incredible.
Exactly.
So it's a whole mindset, and fitness changes your entire life, not just how fit you are.
Exactly right.
So.
Cool, man. So anyway, that's been a really cool chat. Actually, it's always good to catch up with people that's been really successful. Guys, if you've got any comments, leave a comment down below. Really appreciate your feedback. Obviously, Sam's done some incredible things. I know he's going to carry on doing them as well. He's going to win some championships this year, mate. Do you mean? And get it all done. So, like I said, that's it. Thanks for coming on, Sam. It's always good to chat, mate. Start fresh, guys. Cheers.